Social groupings. Participation in physical activities influenced by social factors such as social groupings, family and friends, as well as personal factors such as age, gender, disability and ethnicity. Participation in sport. People have different preferences and reasons for choosing to participate in sport, and their choice is influenced by a number of factors including age, gender, ethnicity, religion and culture, family, education, time and work commitments, cost and disposable income, disability, opportunity and access, discrimination, environment and climate, media coverage, role models. Over the next 10 slides, I'm not going to talk through them, but there is a lot of information on each of the topics. So there's a slide on age, gender, ethnicity, etc. If you read them through, and I'll talk to you later in the video. So having a disability may be a barrier when people participating in sport. They might not be able to get transport to an event. The sport might not be accessible. It might be up a set of stairs. It may be there is no wheelchair basketball leagues. There's a lot of things which could actually block people from participating in sport, but disabled sport is increasing year by year, and they're getting more and more opportunities to participate in sport and become a more inclusive society. So adapting sports and activities for disabled participation. Disabled people take part in sport in a range of ways, with non-disabled participants or with other disabled people. Where is it done? For example, a shorter distance, a lower net, courts with zones. How is it done? For example, 2 bounces before you hit a ball, roll instead of a throw. What is used? For example, a bell ball, a flag instead of a whistle, or who does what? For example, uneven teams, 6v4, a guide runner. So you might have a blind runner who runs with a guide to show them where they've got to go. For people who are blind, they put a bell in a ball so they can hear it when they play football or cricket. Opportunity and access. For people to participate in sport and physical activity, facility sessions and resources need to be available in the area. If there is no hockey pitch or club, no one has the opportunity to play hockey. If there is no dry ski slope in the town, this provides the opportunity to ski. Transport to facilities is a consideration. Can they be reached on foot or by bike? Is public transport available? Is there easy parking for cars? Disabled participants need specialised access and specialised equipment. Discrimination is an unfair treatment of different categories of people on the ground of race, gender, age or disability. An example of race discrimination would be a case of Mark McCannon in 2012, who claimed that he and other black players at Gillingham FC were treated less favourable than white players regarding punishment for missing training, medical treatment and pay cuts following relegation. An example of gender discrimination would be a woman not being allowed to join a golf club because it is a male-only club. An example of age discrimination would be a club not allowing anyone under the age of 25 to join. An example of disability discrimination would be not letting a wheelchair tennis player play on the tennis courts. Environment and climate. The environment, climate and weather of the country are areas can affect a person's participation in sport and physical activity. The climate may be too hot or too cold to participate in some activities, and some countries experience heat waves which would make activities difficult. The humidity might be too high to participate safely, or the wind-rain season may interrupt participation. Now I'll let you read through the rest of the slide. Now questions have come up on current trends in participation. So we're looking at, according to Sports England, Active People Survey 2014 to 15, the number of people participating in sport has increased by over 1 million since the 2012 Olympic Games. Swimming is one of the country's most popular activities and has seen a recent decline in participation rates. In the fitness sector, fewer people are taking part in aerobic style classes, while more people are attending high-intensity Pilates and yoga sessions. Running is increasing the popularity, such as park runs and colour runs. Tennis participation is increasing. Basketball is becoming more popular, especially in schools and further education. In 2014-15, the top 5 sports for adults were swimming, running, cycling, football and golf. According to the Department of Culture, Media and Sport, walking, swimming and health and fitness activities had the greatest number of participants. Cycling, running, football and snooker were also in the top 10. Men are more likely to take part in sport than women. Women are more likely to do a health and fitness activity and go jogging, while men are more likely to play football and snooker. According to the Women's Sport and Fitness Foundation 2012, football is the most popular team sport for women, with more than 250,000 participating. Only 1 in 7 of these are women from the BME communities. Men's football, men's cricket and men's rugby are the top 3 team sports in terms of participation. The next 2 are women's football and women's netball. The 16 to 19 age group has the highest percentage of football players, both men and women. Sports Coach UK on disability sport in 2011, participation has nearly doubled in the last few years to around 34% of the population. Equestrianism is one of the most popular sports for people with a psychological disability. Transport is one of the major barriers to participation for disabled people. What some national governing bodies say. England netball in 2013-14, participation in netball had increased, with more than 150,000 people playing at least 30 minutes a week. England hockey in 2010-11, there had been a small decline overall participation in the last few years. More men but fewer women are playing at least once a week. England basketball in 2015, participation in basketball had increased to more than 150,000, which included a growth in both female and BME participation.